we've worked on a lot of things, but we've done collabs, dog. One of our biggest collab was with OK Malum Cool Cat. I think we still have his stuff.
Yeah, I saw
stuff
that.
at the shop as well, but that was one of our biggest like collabs. But we have like a lot. I'd state like a lot of things, but it's just like the one main one I'd say it's out there and people know about it.
Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to the very first episode of the Chop Up. I go by the name Wesley Mr. West, and as you can see today, I'm joined by the most humble and interesting dude, I believe.
Yo, I'm good, dog. How are you?
I love you, man.
I'm nice.
Basically, I got introduced by the internet, actually, as Nhlanhla. Yeah.
That's my name.
So basically, I started this platform to actually document and like share the journeys, the highs and lows of and the overall creative process of like young entrepreneurs and like creative in the art industry, just to sort of like motivate or give insight to youngs out there how to navigate the industry if maybe they're trying to tap into it, you know. So we're not gonna have this in an interview format. We're just gonna have a conversation.
I love you. No problem. Should I introduce myself?
Yeah. So basically, let's start off like establish like a background introduction of who are you and where you from.
So I go by the name of Nhlanhla. That's my name. My surname is Baz, as in Bae. Unfortunately, street name, aka known as Pigs. Yeah, I'd say that's my nickname from high school. So basically, I'm from the V, straight from the V. Born and raised in the V. I schooled here, lived here basically my whole entire life. But yeah, I think that's what I can say. So I schooled in Pine Dean, went to Vaal High. Yeah, and then tertiary I said City Bing, and then I went to Joburg myself for a short course there.
By the way, I'd like us to know, how do you actually define yourself as an individual?
I'm around to swear, sorry. Anyway,
it's okay.
Yeah, so basically, individually, I wouldn't. It's hard to explain that thing, because I think we're all different, and for me to explain myself to, I think I'm not good with words, but I'm good with like expressing myself through what I do. You know, I would say a lot on how I dress and what I do with my work. So that explains a lot. But mostly, me defining myself as an individual is just me being a curator, dressing up people, styling, and just a thinker,
Product
an innovator, but mostly innovative in a creative space most of the time. I like to see myself in that space most of the time, every time. Even having fun, it just needs to be there, circulated around, being creative.
Basically, I asked that question because I see that you wear like a lot of hats. I mean, you're a creator, like a merchandiser. You're also like a production manager for like DFA friends. So that's why I wanted to know what's your main
but
sports? Does it
it's fashion, bro. I think I'd say everything built up and just became like a tree because of fashion. When you look at when I do production for dear friends, it only began through me doing fashion and jumping into introducing this whole thing. Because when you do an event, obviously you like the source of everything. So when people look at you, they look at an event. So most of the time they'd like to know who does the event, who designed this. Especially if it's an event that involves like creatives. It's not like entertainment events, but mostly like social creative events. So it starts from there, and then it came down. So I'm only now just jumping into other stuff, which is like event production. I'm fully focusing on that. right now, but I'm also like a merchandiser for the shop. Also do styling here and there, which I used to do most of the time, but now because I'm trying to grow a brand, so it's just doing event production is much more easier to get to know people at the high level.
Connect, yeah.
So, unfortunately, I do events that engage fashion, like all the time. Sorry, fashion all the time. So it's much more easy for me to actually like do what I have to do, and then come back to me being,
Actually, since you mentioned that, I wanted us to talk more about like the store. Like, how did it start? Actually, how was it established? Like, from being maybe an idea or a concept, how did it come about?
Interesting. I said this so many times, but I enjoy saying it. Like, I feel like the story is not fully polished, but on how my street wardrobe came about. So there's just this thing that I had, like it was 2016, I think, 2016. I had this other idea when I started doing fashion.
2016?
Like, still this side. Like I just finished my
school.
Yeah, I just finished school, so I was just jumping into doing this short course in NISOF, which is now called Study.
What are you doing there?
Styling.
Oh,
Principles of styling. So I just finished that. No, I was busy with that actually. So while I was still on it, I had this other idea, dog. Like I just wanted to. I wasn't sure what was it though, but I had an idea. I was like, I need to do something while I'm studying this thing, So I was like, I had this other idea. So there was this old friend of mine told me, I was like, yo, Donna, I have this idea. I don't know what I want to do, but here's what's going on. So I remember I booked Zone 14. What was this? There's this other next to Sports Center. I can't remember that whole thing. It's like a library or something. So I booked like a blank room and then invited I had like 4 photographers. I had 3 designers, got models. So like I just wanted everyone to play their part. So it was just like, but I treated it like an event, but we played a part. That's why I'm saying, I still say, like, I don't know what I was doing there. But for me, it made sense, and it was so special to me because everyone understood exactly what I wanted to do. Because I wanted to get every creative in one room and just create something. Yeah, but that's how it started. So like, I just entertained it to the fullest, to where I needed a name for that day. Treated it like an event, but it was a very intimate thing. So that everyone is excited. It's like, yo, Donna, yeah, what's going on this day, whatnot, in. So had the whole cast there, and then we did what we had to do. It was a success, dog,
So what were you doing there? Were you selling clothes? Or
no, it wasn't selling. So everyone was just like, for me, I was styling. I was dressing up people. I was the only stylist, and we had BTS photographers, we had main photographers, videographers, we had models, people, like aspiring models, We had like a couple of people that we had there, or directors actually. As someone who sees him or herself as a director, I called them in to direct. Everyone was just doing whatever we could do, like on the scene, right? Dog, it was fun. Everyone was having fun, dog. We did what we played with our minds, and it was crazy, dog. So that day, I remember when I was promoting this thing, like with just us and people on it. So it was like, I was like, yo, I need to give it a name, and I called it my street wardrobe, That was before I started thrifting even, right? So, yeah, the name was so interesting, dog, like it was just so crazy. Like I was like, nah, man, I can't just let this go, too. And then, but also like I was done doing what I was thinking because I couldn't innovate in any form. But long story short, I kept the name. Because it was so crazy to me, I was like, oh shit, it's such a dope name, like what the hell,
Street wardrobe.
So I was like, okay, cool, let me just register the name just to keep it under me, I went there, registered the name, just kept it under me, cool. Long story short, what was my next thing? Oh, so now, I'm planning this mini event of the work that we did on
so
that
basically
day
replicate
to showcase.
it.
Yeah. So like now it's like an exhibition. Yeah. So like that. This is my first ever event, right? So yeah. So it's presented by my street. Already now it's like my street.
So would you say
presents this work, and then we did that thing. So now I booked the library there, and then calling like 50 good people, good friends of mine. And like it was so crazy, so I had to connect with some Red Bull guy. He was a Red Bull something. Pulled up with my so it was just okay. Though. It was so crazy, different back then even. Though, like very different because now we were in the V and this thing we exposed to it's in Joburg, but now it's coming this side, And then as time goes by, now I'm being introduced to so now I'm used to being in Joburg. Got to this thrifting. So I understood thrifting, went in deep, and then yeah. Long story short, all in that. Now I'm out here doing pop-ups.
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to do pop-ups. Now I thrift now because my style is different and everything. So now I'm the one to pick up pieces, thrift here and there. Now I do pop-ups. Start with the first pop-up. Can't remember when I was, but it was I think it was 2017 somewhere there. First pop-up. Said second pop-up, dog, it was crazy. Like most innovative thing that I've ever done in the view with those pop-ups, dog. Say pop-up and people were crazy about that, dog. Like it went crazy, people went crazy. I was like, shit. Second pop-up, people went crazy. Third pop-up, but when I did my third pop-up, I was like, fuck it. This is too much, dog. It needs to be something that, now I'm starting let me just make this thing like a daily thing and then we'll take it from there. Get at some pieces.
Cool story.
Get at some pieces, yada, and then, dog, we're here. We're here now. But unfortunately, so there was these kids that were here before me, right? So I approached them. I was like, yo, Donna, can we do this? Because I wanted to open a shop next door. Yeah, well, I was like, yo, we need to make this place like the Joe, but it's just us innovating the Joe and bringing it back to the V. Alright, cool. Hey, those kids, something happened, but then I ended up taking the shop, Unfortunately, I don't know where they are, but man, that's where we are right now. It's just too long, dog. I don't want to.
I get you, my dog.
So that's why I'm just
what I'm interested in is where does this stems from? This interest into fashion or doing this or deciding it's alright. Let's get a bunch of kids. Let's meet in a place. Let's hang out. So where does it stem from? Maybe from your family or where actually does it come from?
That's a good question. I think I built my own thing because everyone in my family is just doing their own thing. They copy people, So for me, I just chose a different path and sorry. So they were so amazed with me just launching a shop. I was like, what?
Something different.
We did not even fund this. What the hell, But I pushed it, I pushed it, and fortunately, I had this good friend of mine, which I'll give a credit to them also. I know this one from high school and friends. So she used to be very supportive from the ground, to the point where I had this idea. I was like, Donna, I wanna open a shop, I got this much. She always like, Donna, let's go 50-50. I'm like, I wouldn't mind going 50-50 with you because where I come from, And no, we did it, It's a 50-50 share, but also I'm the one that's handling most of the stuff, right? She does the whole thing. I think she plays a part, I play my part, But to say I'm a founder, yes, I am a founder. I'm the one who came with the whole idea and everything. But with the funding, she had to jump in, and I allowed her because she deserved it, and she's within the vision. I think it's still standing even today.
She can't
because of her, she plays a big role actually in the shop, though she's just behind, she's not even behind. But so she wouldn't even want to be in the scene actually because she's just that person. But she's such a cool person, Even today, dog. Even when I tell her, like, yo, this one, 2, 1, 2, she's like, cool, I hear you. I'm so grateful that I had someone that would actually see
and
the whole
believe
thing
and
and be
just
like, fuck, okay,
Let's move.
let me just give you what you need, let's do this thing, and then we started doing it. Yeah, so here we are now, working on another shop that's coming very soon. Yeah.
So you're opening a new shop. That's cool.
Like,
And basically, I wanna also like touch a lot into like the thrifting part because I feel like most of the shop is basically
sustainable stuff.
Yeah. So like so you said since you created that event and then everything popped off and then obviously you created some contacts and then Joburg, then now you start to get introduced into thrifting. Like, how were you introduced? What was your first experience like? When you started thrifting?
Damn, I'm so dog. I'm so mad. I wish I never sold my, like, I had these pants, dog. I think they're still on my Instagram. It's probably on my first or second post. Those were my first thrifted pants. I had them. I can't remember what was happening, but like it was my first pants where I bought. I think it was 80 bucks. It was expensive, but like it was 80 bucks. But it made sense to me to be like, yo, shit, I can actually look this cool and spend this lace, you know? Because I used to spend a lot on like clothes, but when I started understanding thrifting, it wasn't even because of like, or now I understand. Like right now, it's so deep to a point where I beef with even Shein, I beef with like all of these fast fashion like brands. Actually, because now I'm just deep within and understanding like the deeper side of it. You know, the deeper side of like, yo, shit, this is good for our environment. This is good for our future. You know. It's good to sustain, you know, things like that, like the qualities, that's just a lot of things. But back then it was more of like, yo, I want to be a stylist, I'm a stylist and I'm trying to do this, you know, and like shit, I can actually spend less while I don't have money and still look good and still be relevant, you know. So I think that's what one of our highlights to the shop is. It's one thing that we always tell people. It's like, yo, when you jump into the shop, it's not about like, do you have Nike? Do you have Puma? No, it's not about that. We don't sell that, dog. We sell, like, I'd always highlight, I'm selling style, dog. You know, you may see me rocking something for 15 grand with like a Mr. Price tee. That's just me, dog. Okay, I value clothes in different levels, but like, when it comes to style, it's not even about brand anymore. It's about how you look, because you can look good and wear Mr. Price. You can look good and be here. Or spend 80 bucks and got like a good
still
piece,
be relevant.
You know? So that's our main like point, like my main point of like on how I understand it. Though there's a lot of features on thrifting, like, yo, you can thrift because you want to get a car, you can thrift because you want to do this. I do get those things and I just lay them here for a cheaper price, just to give the people the very same feeling that I had when I started thrifting of getting my first Nike shoe or like
for like,
you know, yeah. I still want to give the people the same experience, but like in a modernized way, in an aesthetical way, you know, not like in the pits. We go to the pits to get those things.
Because I feel like dog actually relates so much to that because my first interaction with thrift was literally, I remember I was telling my girl the other day about like an all-star dog. So basically I was with a homie of mine. So it was back in the day, we were still young, primary. And then his parents gave him like money to go buy like, you know, those all-star looking shoes. They were prep, with no label. Ah shit.
I still rock them.
We got there, dog. He bought it. I was like, fuck, I'm not trying to get this. But then when we went out by the rank, we started moving. I'm seeing all of these like shoes there, all the streets. I went there, dog. Asked the price. They're like, it's 150. I'm like, 150? Shit, I'm getting this. Then from there, dog, I just realized, well, shit, you can actually get things for like a cheaper price. I wanted to also like find out like what are the type of challenges you face, dog, when you go out and want to like source out merch. Because I know, dog, I also like thrift a lot. Then I also like find like a lot of challenges when I go there because you find niggas that already bought like the bag and he's out there picking his stuff and he's just throwing the things that are not like of use to him. Like, yeah, what type of challenges you kind of
personally, dude, I think it goes back to me telling you that like we all into this thrifting thing with our own reasons, right?
Sure.
So I mean, in most cases, I don't really have challenges. Like I do have them, but I wouldn't say the challenges what you guys face with like you need to buy the whole bale. Because me, I'm more of like hunting for pieces that look good, like good pieces, not in terms of with you. Because I know for a fact that those people that are buying bales before
they're just getting brands.
They're gunning for something, right? And I think that's what's interesting as well, Uti. In most cases, when you jump into these things with thrift, you get to find yourself and you know exactly what you're there for, you know. So me, getting sauce, maybe I would have difficulties in getting those brands, but also that's not my main priority when it comes to that, because they're gunning for whatever that they're gunning for. But I'm personally looking for whatever that I'm looking for, so I can go there daytime rather than going in the morning. I avoid those things with you know what, in the morning it's just never the go, you know. So I'd go there daytime and pick the pieces that I have, and I think it has worked well on our side, you know. It has worked well.
You know, I'm saying this because I think the last time I went there, we drove to like Joburg around like 11, and then we had an appointment like Bryanston, and then we had like time to like basically, you know, to do thrifting. So I went there for like quick minutes, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna figure out, dog. I get there, né? It's already late. I look, I find this jacket. I got like 2 jackets actually. But then now I asked the guy, what's the price? It's like 150. Oh, it's like 100. Cool, 100, lovely. I look, I get 2 jackets. And then when I go to this dude, yo dog, and like I need to show you, probably you can trade on those pieces. When I show him, it's like, nah dude, give me 150 for this. I'm like, oh, you said the price is 100. It's like, nah. I'm like, shit, should they messed it? You understand? Yeah. So it's one of those things that I feel like when you thrift, it's more about choice, and it's more about like literally having an eye for like something that's really good.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I'd call it also an eye, because it's mostly an eye.
Yeah. What do you think? But sorry to cut you. About like the growth of like the thrift culture, basically. What do you think?
Like it's actually like it's so crazy that it's so broad, right? But I think most of the challenges is what we're facing, like what's going on right now. Like right now it's so crazy that fast fashion it's moving to as much as we being noticed and trying to sustain this whole thing, but
fast fashion
is huge, dog. I mean, dog, you get to check the stats from Shein. Like since Shein has been here, it's making millions. Like it's been
professional.
So it's not. Oh yeah, you know those online stores. You also check on like retailers now. They just jumping into making
same
thing.
Type of,
you know. So now it's just becoming crazy. But we move, dog. I mean, we stick to this. I still believe that there's still people that will always be. And I'm so happy now we're not even doing it for just looking good, but we're just treating it as a culture. You gotta do it to stay healthy, like for the world to stay healthy. You know, it's not only about just dressing anymore. You know.
I got you, bro. But then another thing is like collaboration. Dog. I wanted to touch on like collaboration. What's your take on like? Have you collab with like any brand or like any store or like?
We've worked on a lot of things, but we've done collabs. One of our biggest collab was with OK Malone Cool Cat. I think we still have the stuff.
Yeah, I saw that
at the shop as well, but that was one of our biggest like collabs. But we have like a lot. I'd state like a lot of things, but it's just like the one main one I'd say that's out there that people know about it. That is big.
Do you think it has like a purposeful like? I don't know, does it have purpose?
Yeah, it does, you know, because we always trying, so I always say when I go to him, it's like, yo, I'm always trying to match, because I'm creating a culture of my own, like we're just doing the Hub Space thing, my studio drop, and also, he also has his own culture, it's over, you know. So it's two cultures emerging together, and we get to understand with you win your side, I win your side, you know. So like we emerge, we become a bigger thing. So we have those days where we do. We're actually planning another pop up here. We haven't confirmed anything, but it's coming soon.
Actually, we're talking about that, dog. Like, yo, I was having a conversation with my dude just now. We're talking about like basically what's this? Like international brands. So it's like there's this thing like almost with like people go to shelf life at the door, queue, whatever for them to sell out, maybe sell out in a day, whatever. So I was literally thinking, fuck, like how can we as a community try to focus on like how can we help local brands to actually do the same shit?
To be hyped.
Yeah, basically to like have a local brand, use our resources or whatever resources we use to hype it up, and then to actually have the same value of
getting there.
Yeah, understand. To basically sell out in like, let's just say there's a local brand, let's make it sell out in one day instead of like.
Personally, from my reference and knowing, it's getting there. We have we have Galax Boy.
Yeah.
They sell. We have a lot of brands which I think they would sell. It's just a matter of like having the perfect strategy and like valuing your brand, and knowing people that are gonna buy and knowing your exact target market, But also we need to grow the culture before we actually get to jump into those.
But then that's the thing. Like that's what I want to focus on. How do we actually grow this culture? What do we do? Like what do we focus on? And basically expanding it. And just making everyone aware with shit, this is what's happening, let's get together, let's like literally grow.
Personally I think it's growing, dog. Like it's just that we may not notice it, but like as you said, it's probably collaboration at most of the time, so that you get verified in like all different platforms, like different ways, different brands getting together, you're getting to notice something new about this brand, or this brand is new and all of that. So I think slowly but surely we'll get there as time goes by, but it's not gonna be now. I mean, also my chat it's growing because now you get to look at on how fashion game and music game has literally became one thing now. It's so crazy that you cannot even see now who listens to hip hop, who listens to house. Because so that's how you get to see that actually the culture is really growing, because now it's no longer about old nigga because you look good, or like you listen to hip hop, you look like this. So now everyone looks the same, not like in a bad way, but just to show the culture is really like growing.
Dog, as we wrap it up, I want us to touch on like the importance of dressing well. What's your take on the importance of dressing well, basically?
Man, dress well, dress good, you look good, you feel good, your confidence goes up, you can get a job by just looking good. You can get a wife, you can like your confidence, everything. At the end of the day, I think that's why in most cases I always view it as like PR. It's like PR, though. It's very important.
How you present yourself.
How you present yourself to everyone, to anyone. So personally, I think for me that's the most important thing I always highlight with anything. I mean, when I interview a person, the first thing I look at is like, is she dressed well? Is he dressed well? Does he represent this? Because you need to represent what you are. When you know that you're working with an accountant, you're gonna get someone who's dressed in like formal and whatnot. When you jump into my street wardrobe, you need to find someone that looks like steezed up, So for me, that's very important.
The chat now is like, how do we bridge that gap, as you were saying? Like, how do we bridge the gap? Like, how can like people who want to also look the part, they're into different styles, but then they're not sure if like they can actually thrift these items that they actually looking.
It's a good question, right? Because you need to have an eye. It goes back to having an eye. But also, as I said, like personally with me, dog, I'll try my best to all the time and highlight this different thrifting thing so that it grows to everyone. You know, I still believe that as much as you guys can categorize thrift as like a streetwear thing, you still get old dads there. That are still doing the same thing. They doping and recreating the whole thing.
Yeah, tailoring.
So it becomes a lot of admin. That's why I always say thrifting is not for everyone. So it gets much for like there's people that know with I can go to MTN and thrift, but they cannot do that. They'd rather come to our space and make it. The job is much more easier that way. You know, it's well presented. You know, like it's much more easier than me going to the pit and just gunning for that. You know,
my
so for me,
thing right now is like, how do we actually make people aware of the fact that you can also go through all that process, get your shit there, go maybe to whatever other tailor that shit, and then
how do we make them aware? People are aware, dog. I mean, slowly, as I would say, Guti, people like we try our best to always highlight. It's not even about style, but you just need to always wear all stuff, bro. I mean, like. The world is fully like most population is being dyed by pollution.
Hence we're talking about
it's playing a big role. Like clothing is playing a big role in that. That's why I was like, fast fashion is really like killing the whole thing. But I think, or maybe it's because I'm exposed to this sustainable fashion stuff that I'm circulated with people always sustaining, people always recycling, But I think we're growing slowly but surely. But also, like fast fashion is also making so much noise as well. But we'll get there.
Alright, man. That's it from us, man. Where can we get you, my dog?
Instagram. You can find my street wardrobe. So we have gang accounts. But it's my street wardrobe. It's my_street_wardrobe. If you want, that's all about events and everything. The main page. The store page is my_street_wardrobe_Vaal_store. And then there's a one in Joburg. You'll just see gang on there. Please follow all of them. We also do events. You'll see there.
And then where is the store opening?
It's gonna be in the Vaal.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing another one in the V before we go to Joburg. So I'll take it from there.
Had a good chat, man. Even though it was cut short because it's kind of busy.
Busy.
The store needs to operate.
But yeah, dog, you'll just show pictures and whatnot.
It's all good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we out.